Okay everyone, meet again with me Matul Anwar in this channel Tajwid 5 menit. Thank you for watching. After we are already discussed about what is why the money become the conflict potential for the family. Second one, we already discussed about how to build the middle ground with our partner in the family, with discussion with our partner about what we need, what they need, and then we already discussed about how to make a central agreement. We already discussed about 7 points of the central agreement. So in this video, I would like to invite you to discuss about how to creating the 5 pillars of financial harmony. With our central agreement in place, we are ready to explore a series of steps I call the 5 pillars. These 5 pillars are a blueprint to help you work collaboratively, and we'll go through each of them in turn to maximize understanding. As usual, we start with ourselves. In order to talk about money constructively, we need to be able to identify what is important to us in terms of how we earn it, how we spend it, and the quality of life that we wish to create. This comes down to our individual values. Some examples of values are freedom to take a certain type of work or responsibility to others. When we talk about our values, we shift our framework around money from what we think is correct to what we believe is important. The former often leads to argument, while the latter is the basis for mutual understanding. The next pillar is to establish the rules for communication. In the beginning especially, we need a framework to help us keep from falling into the same old fight. It might feel awkward to follow what amounts to a script, but it's the way that we stay safe in the conversation so that each person can be more honest and vulnerable. We will use a method called active listening, which ensures having time to both speak and gives a sort of confirmed receipt that the message was heard. And the safe space, we have the opportunity to translate our values into a concrete ask. The great things about money is that we can quantify it. We can say, I want us to be able to put X dollar a month toward these things that mean so much to me. That doesn't mean that your partner will see it exactly your way, which brings us to pillar number 4, negotiate. Yes, you need to be open to negotiating for yourself and your stake in this process. But in this case, we are not trying to beat the other person. Only win-win negotiating is considered. Good negotiation here, the whole is bigger and more important than the sum of its part. Finally, we compromise. Each person will probably need to make sacrifices to get to a working plan. If that sounds scary, remember, our central agreement is to be inclusive, transparent, equal, flexible, and sustainable. If one partner is asked to sacrifice too much, it violates that initial agreement. Perhaps the negotiation wasn't equal or the sacrifice wasn't be sustainable. It may take some tinkering and some practice, but that's why we keep the central agreement in place. As both a reference and a system of checks and balance, I recommend you work through the pillars sequentially, giving each one the focus it requires. Parts of what you are doing in laying the groundwork for a whole new way to engage with each other, so take your time. You are never done with money, so there's no benefit to rushing toward an imaginary finishing line. Thank you for listening and watching this video. Hope this video will be useful to you. Remember, we have 5 pillars, and each pillar we will discuss later in another video. Thank you. See you again.